Wouldn't you know it? More Texans drama. Like, we're really surprised about that. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. My guest in hour number 2, my guy, my buddy, Frankie Quinones. It's going to be a blast of a show. Let go.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat, written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is St. Patrick's Day. It is Wednesday, March 17, 2021, and this is episode number 213 of Barry on Deck. And I want to say a proud welcome to everybody tuning in on the Podbean app live. This is our first public live show. I've been testing for a few days, but now it is official. It is open to the public. If you want to listen and not watch, you can do so on the Podbean app. Just download Podbean, follow Barry on Deck, and when we go live, you'll be notified, and then you can listen. I know a lot of you guys can't watch necessarily. It's very difficult. You have to go back later because you drive trucks or you work construction or something crazy where you got to be focused and can't be watching some fledgling YouTube fuckface like myself. So you want to listen. So that option is available now. The people clamored for it. It exists, and along with that, going forward, the show will be podcasted every day as well. Now, sometimes they don't get posted right away, but they'll be up. Excuse me. So you have your options now. I always encourage you, if you have the opportunity, watch the show. This is a visual show. This is not necessarily a podcast. I just happen to be podcasting the show. This is a visual show. That's why it's on YouTube. All right. So I say all that about the podcast, but I want to encourage you, if you have the opportunity, you should definitely be watching the show. I spend a lot of time on the visuals and the break videos and everything else. I think it's worth it. Plus, I'm so sexy. I mean, like, if you like chins, boy, do I have a lot for you. Anyway, see, if you aren't watching right now, if you're not watching right now on YouTube, you're missing this sweet ass shirt of mine. Huh? I'm just going to stand here and let you guys soak that in for a second. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you're listening on Podbean or you're podcasting this later, better mosey on over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Barry is funny, and check out the shirt. I promised Penguin Katie that I would wear a special pal shirt today because I wore Katie's shirt on Monday, his Aolos Gaming shirt, because he streams on Twitch as Aolos Gaming. I wore the Reverend Lord Chris Householder III shirt on Tuesday. I'm trying to support my people. I told Katie I would wear her special pal shirt today, which is Whisker Wednesday. But then I got my shirt in the mail, and I was like, well, this is 2 for 1. Duh, it's Whisker Wednesday, and it's St. Patrick's Day, and it's green, so duh. Had to do it. If you're listening and not watching, you need to mosey on over to the YouTube and check that out. Hey, real quick, before we always get into the meat and potatoes, no pun intended. It's St. Patrick's Day. Anyways, before we get into that, we always get to the chat first. The shout outs to the chat. Want to say what's up. 713 Hooligan was the first person in the chat. He is the greatest deckhead in the history of the world on St. Patrick's Day in a pandemic. Congratulations, buddy. You rule. The one ring to rule them all, and you have it for 2 hours until about, 3:58. It's not going to go a full 2. But yeah, Josh, a.k.a. 713 Hooligan, first in the chat, but Jeff Bell with the Congo block. Did not look. And they were competing. Like, Josh was first, Jeff was second, but then Jeff got the first super chat and Josh got the second super chat. So it was like a 1-2 punch combo thing going on here. But thank you guys for getting in early. And there's Lil Uzi checking in with his weather report already. Current conditions at BiffNet World Headquarters, 67 degrees, dew point 57 degrees, partly sunny, 30% chance Barry lost power this morning. My gird, it was raining like crazy, thundering and lightning. It sounded like Miss Sinky walking up and down the aisle. If you missed that story, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I actually had to text guest today who is Frankie Quinones. You probably know him as either a stand-up comedian, the Dress Up Gang, Juanita Carmelita. He's Cholo Fit Creeper. He brings you a lot of fun and joy in your life, so you probably recognize him from one of those. But I had to text him and say, yo, I don't know if I'm going to have power. So if you try to connect at 3 o'clock and am not there, I lost power. So I just had to warn him about that. But let's get to the rest of the chat. We got Jeff Bell in the building. Got it so close. SVG, John Dory, Fidel Lamone, Total Dallas, Eric Resendez. What up, Playboy? Truck driver Pookie, Tony Garza, Robert Likes Beer, D Mata's in the building. Chris Davis, it's good to have an Irish person here. Thank you for showing up, Chris Davis. Keith Sager, Chris Reyes is here. I mentioned Fidel G-Man in the building. Yo, I got to give a shout out to my guy, Ray Lucio. My brother-in-law went to Dan's today to support the show. Said they loved it. The whole crew went. I mean, like, I listened to all these names that went to Dan's and represented. They showed up and showed out and absolutely represented. It was Ray, it was Luis, it was Frank, Braden, and Elliot. All at Dan's. And I feel like about half of those dudes were fat, so they were like not going to be disappointed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take a fat person out to eat, you could literally go anywhere and they're like, it wasn't bad. So I feel like half of those dudes, but I asked Ray, give me your honest opinion. If it sucks, I just won't say anything. And he gave them glowing remarks. Service was amazing. Food was amazing. So there you go. Appreciate you, Ray. Uriel Villanueva is here. Who else is here? TDP doubling up. I see him over there on the Podbean live as well. And remember, I'm not going to use that chat too much. I focus on the YouTube chat. Jen is here. Cece is here. Aaron J. Bryant. Donna Rogers, Terrence J. And Billy Keller's in the building. Gregory Vega Jr. is here on a St. Patty's Day. Marty Z in the building. Tony Garza, another Irishman. Mark G is here. Alan Denson. Rudolph Rodriguez with the message of the day. Each day, sanitize, wash hands, back the fuck up, and social distance. Who else is here? PK in the building. BTK Killer is here. I like it. All right, let's get this party started. Let's go. KSMPU1. What's up? That's a lot of letters. Put a name on there. I'm going to call you Sump. Sump. What's up, Sump? Everybody gets a name. Yeah, I'm not just going to call out letters. If you like BTK, I call him the BTK because he's a killer. And I'm not saying all those names, all those words he has. He's BTK. What up, House? All right. Let's get the show going. We have a lot to do. It's Whisker Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I bring you adoptable animals from Special Pals. We're going to get to that. But let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the show. Here's your sports headline. San Francisco signed Trent Williams, re-signed him back as a 49er. So he hit the open market. They re-signed him to a 6-year, $138 million deal. Actually, it was 138.06. I'm like, really? If you're at 138, do you really need to add the .06? But nevertheless, they did, making him the highest paid offensive lineman in the history of the NFL. And he was worth it. I just say it's a good thing the Chiefs didn't get him. I mean, the Chiefs were going to be absolutely ridiculous. There was rumors that Trent Williams was going to be headed to the Chiefs. So thank God the Chiefs didn't get him. Seahawks aren't trading Russell Wilson. Apparently, Pete Carroll decided that he's too old. He doesn't want to go through a rebuild, so they decided to pull out. Pun intended, I guess. But they decided not to trade Russell Wilson to the Chicago Bears, which the Bears boner just went away immediately because Bears fans were like, we may have a chance. And then they pulled out, and now the Bears had to sign Andy Dalton. So sorry, Mark G, but your squad sucks again. You went from, no, we're not going to suck. God damn it, we still suck. So have fun with that, Mark. Miami is talking to OKC about a trade for Trevor Ariza. Somebody said, I saw this on Twitter, where they said, man, if Miami gets Oladipo and Ariza, they go from a top 5 defense to a top 3 defense. And I'm like, hold on, fam. Trevor Ariza is 119 years old. When he was a Rocket, he started to dip. He started to have some issues. Part of the reason why they traded Trevor. Though not all the reason, but part of the reason. So settle down a little bit. I mean, you're still getting a decent depth defender. Trevor Ariza is not the deep run Rocket Trevor of old. He's just old. Oladipo, now I'll give you that. You're definitely going to improve defensively. But I don't know about going to a top 3 defensive team in the NBA. So, all right, your last sports headline right there. Alex Bregman is participating in spring training games. I saw some ABs that he had in his first game. Put good wood on it. I'm going to let you guys make your jokes. Just go ahead. Make your jokes. Get them out of the way. Get your wood jokes out of the way. By the way, you notice everything in the back is green? Green lights. Green game over. That's usually a blue light. It's green. We're all greened up. Got the green shirt. And I want to point out, Deckheads, if you are on the Patreon, and that means ergo, you are on the Discord. My buddy, my pal, Virginia Buttonweed, is paying $30 for every deckhead that posts a picture of themselves drinking green beer today. $30 directly to Special Pals. All you got to do, now looks like, not like before the show's over. You have all day. So listen, get off work, go to the bar, drink some green beer, take a selfie, send it on the Discord, then go home and make some bad decisions or whatever it is that you do. Okay? But literally every person that posts a picture of themselves drinking green beer, Virginia Buttonweed is going to donate $30 for each picture I should say each person that posts a picture. You can't post like 9 pictures and be like, go broke, bitch. It don't work like that. Post a picture of you drinking green beer. He's going to send $30 to Special Pals. How cool is that? This is why I fucking love the Deckheads. If you're new to the show, if you're just finding us on a podcast somewhere or on Podbean, or maybe my marketing is starting to work and some of you are showing up and you're like, what is this shit? I'm going to tell you right now, you have stumbled upon one of the most generous and giving communities you're going to find anywhere. The Deckheads are amazing people, and Virginia Buttonweed proves that all the time. So I told him, look, pal, I could drink a Dos Equis. He goes, that doesn't count. And I was like, well, listen, you're going to have to count me out because I don't fucking have green beer. I'm not going out. I don't have time for that shit. He goes, you don't have food coloring? Do you think we bake in this fucking house? Are you crazy? Having food coloring would imply that we bake special things. Like, we bake leftover pizza. That's it. I got no food coloring. He goes, I tell you what, for you, Barry, I'll make an exception. Do a shot of Jamie on St. Patrick's Day. What's more Irish than this? It even says on the bottle that it's Irish. Like right there, it says Irish whiskey. So suck it, hoes. This is my green beer. All right, so I'm going to do this shot for Virginia Buttonweed. I'm doing this shot for Special Pals. And I'm doing this shot because I like day drinking now. So there you go. Hey, how do you say that? Salante? What up, Luis? Y'all, Luis Jimenez is in the building. Everybody say hello. Shock, how do you say it? Is it Salante or Salancha? Cilantro? How do you say that? I don't know. There's that whole toast, which I guess means good health or whatever. I don't know. I'm actually part Irish. It's Scotch. Slancha. Oh, Slancha. Okay. Dan's was good, but I'm not fat. Well, Luis, listen. I mean, I'll be the judge of that. I'm going to ask Ray. Ray will tell me if you're fat. Hey, cheers, Deckheads. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Virginia Buttonweed. I love you, buddy, for being so generous and supporting so many Deckheads, so many charities around the city of Houston. You're an amazing dude. I hope we raise a lot of money for Special Pals. Get out there and drink some green beer, Deckheads, and post those pictures on the Discord. Cheers to everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Ah! God damn it, got me. Shit, I was doing so good. All right. Whoo! So anything to talk about with the Texans? Anything going on? Anything at all happening? Any news and noteworthy topics to discuss? Oh yeah! If you were sleeping under a rock and happened to miss it, Tony Buzbee, I'm not going to say famous Houston lawyer, more like infamous, failed mayoral candidate, ambulance chaser. Tony Buzbee posted on Instagram the following message. He said, and I'm reading directly from the Instagram here. Let me pull it up. I am extremely proud to represent those who have no perceived power against those who have perceived, all caps, power. Things are changing in this country, in this great state, and in this great city, and I feel like it's for the better for all of us. Today, we filed suit against Deshaun Watson. Too many times women have put up with behavior that we all know no one should put up with. Should we make excuses for the famous or those who hold special positions or quarterbacks on a local professional football team? I don't think so. All people are equal and all deserve dignity and respect. My dad was a butcher. My mother drove my school bus and worked in the snack bar. Knowing what I know now, my mama had more dignity in her pinky finger than most executives or coaches or politicians or famous athletes have in their whole bodies. This case was just filed against Watson isn't about money. It's about dignity and stopping behavior that should be stopped. Now, stay tuned for details, and let me say this. I'm a Marine. I'm not easily intimidated. If you have info or have been part of this, contact my office, txattorneys.com. I thought about this all night and all day because I have come on this show and on The Usual Suspects when it was a thing on ESPN radio, and I have preached over and over and over. Believe women. That does not change now. We must, as a society, get past the dismissal of a woman's claims when it's convenient or when we feel like that person, no, there's no way Bill Cosby would do that. That's America's dad. So I want to start off by saying, I understand the character of Deshaun Watson is on trial here. And I understand a lot of people have already vouched for his character. And I understand that it would be unfathomable by a lot of us to think he would be capable of something like this. But I'm not going to be a hypocrite now and come out and say just because of the circumstances surrounding everything else that the allegations are false. What I'm telling you is that if she is making allegations, then we need to look into this and we need a court of law to decide if this happened or not. Now, I will also say that the circumstances surrounding the announcement of this case gives you an eerie and odd feeling. It's not like this case went through the court of law as a criminal matter. There were no criminal charges filed. And I will say this about that particular instance because that's something that people bring up. Oh, so she's just suing for money. She didn't file criminal charges. This has happened in the past. Now, in some cases, the statute of limitations has run out, which, by the way, I don't think there should ever be a statute of limitations for rape or sexual assault. I'm sorry. And that includes child molestation. If those are crimes that there should be no statute of limitations on, period. Because those are life-altering crimes. You know, if you steal shit out of my truck, someone stole my gun out of my truck, there's a statute of limitations on that. Rape, murder, child molestation, there should not be a statute of limitations on that. Now, it is odd, not that there wasn't criminal charges filed. However, it is odd that an attorney who maybe has a small amount of dignity and respect for his job, his client, and the justice system to instead go to Instagram first to announce the lawsuit. Like, why are you announcing this lawsuit? And I'll be honest with you. From my standpoint, this looks like Tony Buzbee is clout chasing. That's what this is. Now, I know that a lot of you, I've seen these posts, I've seen these tweets, I've seen the Facebooks, I've seen the Friendsters and the MySpace posts, and I've seen them all. And a lot of you are now, the theory is being floated about, well, you know, he was next door neighbors with Bob McNair. He's in with the McNairs. This is definitely a smear campaign. And I want you to think about something before you throw out these kind of accusations. What my job is, what I'm trying to do right now is be rational about this whole situation. I want to look at it all honestly. One, believe her. Until we learn otherwise, believe her. Okay? Two, why would the Texans want to go out and assassinate the character of a guy they're going to try and get the most they can for on the trade market? I want you to ask yourself that question. Why would you destroy the man's integrity and character, possibly get him suspended from the NFL? Why would you do all that if you knew you were going to have to trade him? That doesn't make sense. That would not be a smart business decision unless you're just that vindictive. Also, I just want to point something out. We are talking about a man in Cal McNair. If you think that he is this mastermind, this puppet player, where he's back here playing Tony Buzbee and Deshaun Watson and this female masseuse and all these people, Nick Casario. This is a guy who sat on the floor in an office with no furniture playing video games while as an adult, while he should have been learning how to run an NFL franchise. That has been stated publicly by David Carr and Sage Rosenfeld. So don't sit here and try to sell me some bill of goods that Cal McNair is a fucking mastermind. I feel like Cal McNair wears Velcro dress shoes because he's like, well, it's too hard to slip on. So, you know, I get confused about what does it heel first or so I just have Velcro on my dress shoes. Like most people have wingtips. This dude has Velcro dress shoes that are slip-ons. He comes off as that moronic. So I don't think for 1 second that he's being a mastermind. What I think is, and this is just a theory, I think whatever happened or didn't happen in that room, it was an opportunity. That's it. It was an opportunity to get justice, or it was an opportunity to get paid. And we don't know which yet. And again, I'm going to reiterate, we are going to believe her until we have a reason not to believe her. Okay? But when your lawyer goes to Instagram and makes that kind of posts and then plugs his website, tells you why he's superior to all of us because his dad was a butcher and his mom was a bus driver, I'm going to be real. If one of y'all told me my mom was a bus driver and my dad was a butcher, I'd be like, your parents were lazy. They didn't really aim high, did they, Tony? I mean, it's a wonder you became a successful lawyer with, you know? And look, let's take it a step further. Let's evaluate the character of the man who is not only taking the case, but then making it public in this form and fashion, because I think you have to look at all of it when we talk about this. You can't just go, all right, sexual assault, that's creepy, gone, get out of here, yada, yada. Let's look at it all. Let's look at all the facts. She's made the claim. We're going to believe her until we have a reason not to. I will get to Deshaun Watson's quote in just a second. Cal McNair sat in an office with no furniture playing video games. He's not a mastermind. Tony Buzbee, on the other hand, Tony Buzbee loves the spotlight. And the only thing Tony Buzbee loves more than the spotlight is money. Let's just take a gander at Tony Buzbee's, because some things stood out to me here. Now, this is a professional man. This is a man who is a lawyer. This is a guy who is well-to-do, right? This is a guy doing good things. This is also a guy who loves to floss and flex. Case in point. Does this look like a guy who cares about his client? Because he posts a picture of him being driven around in a fancy limo or whatever SUV with screens in the back, showing us his watch and that he's smoking a cigar, making sure he got those in the shot, mind you. Making sure that you see that he's in a limo with a screen, that you see that he has a fancy watch on, and that you see he's probably smoking an expensive cigar. And then what he posts is, closing arguments done. Ralph and I are headed back to Houston from Beaumont. Hard fought case. Great court, great clients. Now we'll wait. My client was not called and blah, blah, blah. These folks on the front lines of the oil, I'm honored to represent them and have them pay for this watch and pay for this cigar and pay for this limo ride and pay for my pool and pay for my private plane trips and pay for all the shit that my wife gets because I'm chasing ambulances and my dog flies better than any of my clients ever will on vacation they ever take. So let's evaluate the facts of what Tony Buzbee is. He's a clout-chasing, money-hungry lawyer. That's what this dude is. Does this mean this case isn't accurate? Does this mean this case isn't factual? No. We're just evaluating each of these on their merits. Let's believe women, and let's just be realistic about the guy that's representing them. So here we go. Hey, headed down to Florida to marry off my buddy. Cool. Thanks for showing us your super expensive boots on your super expensive plane. That's great to see. I mean, it is just, it's obvious what this dude is about. So it's hard for me, as much as I want to, and I am preaching to you and I am pleading for all of you, even if we're wrong, even if this comes to nothing more than clout chasing, we still have to believe women. If this turns out to be true and all of us were to say, there's no way, that's bullshit, could you imagine what that does to the psyche of that woman and all of the women that are thinking about coming forward? So let's not do that. But we can still evaluate the key players in this. And the key players are the female that we know nothing about, the lawyer who's clout chasing and likes money, and the football player. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's discuss the football player, because Deshaun Watson did release a statement. He put this on his Twitter. As a result of a social media post by a publicity-seeking plaintiff's lawyer, I recently became aware of a... Now, mind you, I want to point out that the Texans didn't find out about this case through the legal system. Deshaun Watson wasn't served or found out about this case through the legal system. Everybody in the world learned of this case through Tony Buzbee's Instagram. That's where we all learned about it. That is very important to this whole thing. Never lose sight of that. Deshaun Watson, as a result of a social media post by a publicity-seeking plaintiff's lawyer. By the way, Deshaun didn't write this. Somebody wrote this for him. I recently became aware of a lawsuit that has apparently been filed against me. I have not yet seen the complaint, but I know this. I have never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect. The plaintiff's lawyer claims that this isn't about money, but before filing suit, he made a baseless six-figure settlement demand, which I quickly rejected. Unlike him, this isn't about money for me. It's about clearing my name. Look forward to doing that. So now we have all of the information. We're all caught up and we're all on the same page. And we're all drawing various conclusions. And that is natural for you all to do that. And I'm not going to judge you for whatever conclusion you draw. If you think Deshaun Watson should immediately be put under the jail because this woman came forward and had the nerve to do so. If you believe Tony Buzbee, that his mom drove a bus and now here he is, saving the world. One client, one injured client. Let's just skip the criminal formalities and go straight for the check. Or do you believe Deshaun Watson? I would never do that to a woman. I have never done that to a woman. This is baseless. This is nothing more than coming after my money. And I will prove myself to be innocent. It's a lot of moving parts. And I think I just want to implore all of you out. I mean, I have stated nothing but facts up to this point. maybe some opinion about Tony Buzbee. But you can look at his Instagram and see that my points being made were backed up by his pictures. I just want to, I want to ask everybody to at least let this play out in the courts. Let's see what happens. I would be interested to see if Deshaun Watson's claim of requesting a settlement before the case was ever even filed is in fact true. Will we ever know that? I don't know. Maybe TMZ gets those papers and releases it and it proves that to be true. Because if that is true, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. If his claim that they asked for a settlement before even filing the lawsuit is true, it really does smack of paper chase. It may be not the case, but it certainly has the look of it. Because I don't know that anyone's ever done that. Why would you want to settle for a six figures if you know you have been violated? Maybe you don't want your name out there. I don't know. I'm asking questions. But I'm telling you, it would seem suspicious at the very least from the lawyer's perspective. And I'm not saying that it's the woman doing this. I'm saying that Tony Buzbee could be like, hey girl, listen, you got a case. Don't go criminal. That's not going to get you anything. Go civil. Yeah, don't put him in jail. He can't pay you if he's in jail. Let's go after his money. Let me handle it. Have you seen the planes that I fly on? Have you seen my boots? Did you peek this watch? Come on, girl. I know you just want justice. Let's get that money. Girl, we'll make that justice rain. Let's go. So we don't know what's happening. We don't know. But that's all the facts, and I'm not going to state opinions because that does nobody any good. Other than my opinion of Tony Buzbee. Slimeball. That's my only opinion in this whole thing. Tony Buzbee is a slimeball. Period. Now, we have something new. Let me share this with you. Just notice this. Here we go. The Justice's Blind Scales of Balance and another post by Tony Buzbee. 24 minutes ago, while we were going on air, Tony Buzbee put this on his IG. Tony said, he's giving Tony's a bad rep. Right? I'm just glad his name isn't Barry Buzbee, which would be catchy though. My associate Cornelia and I will file the second of what is now 4 cases on behalf of women against Deshaun Watson today. The cases allege assault. We won't share the alleged details here, and we won't try the case in the press, but the cases are publicly filed for all to see. I appreciate the calls of support that we have received from those who support these brave women. It takes a lot of guts to stand up to powerful when you're perceived to be powerless. Since filing the first case yesterday, I have had several death threats and multiple people have harassed my children. The blame the victim or her lawyers mentality is alive and well. I love football as much as the next person, although I've never been a Texans fan, but I don't love it that much. Makes me shake my head that people are so passionate about football to the point of irrationality, while at the same time, they could care less who the mayor or president will be. That shit is all over the map. And I will say this. I will reiterate after reading that. That is the first time I've read that. I haven't absorbed that yet. My initial gut reaction is 4 cases is a lot. To have 4 different women come forward, if this were any other person, if this was us living in Houston and we're reading this about Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott or Tom Brady, or Phillip Rivers. It's definitely not Phillip, right? Like gosh darn it, could you see him? Definitely not Phillip. Peyton Manning, whom we all love. It would be hard to stomach this. I don't know how to process this. If I'm just being dead ass honest with you all as I look into this camera, I am conflicted. On the one hand, Tony Buzbee is a huge garbage ass human being. Fact. Well, my fact. He's an ambulance chasing multimillionaire who's made his money off the backs of his clients. But there's 4 women now that have been brave enough to put their name on this. And I don't want to discredit those women. I don't want to just say, oh, this is bullshit because their lawyer is a fucking idiot. My other thought is this. Hopefully, hear me out on this, ladies and gentlemen, before you overreact on what I'm about to say. Hopefully, we find out none of these allegations are true. Hopefully, none of these women have been sexually assaulted. And this was all just a money grab. I hope that's the case, because what it would mean is 4 women weren't sexually assaulted. That's the hope. But I also hope if it did happen that they get the justice that they seek. It's a weird thing to deal with. If this was a more reputable, a less flashy, money hungry type lawyer, which a lot of lawyers are. No offense, Chris Jones and Steven, the weather guy. A lot of lawyers are, and I can vouch neither of those guys. Those guys have offered me their services pro bono just to help me out. Not all lawyers are like this, but there are. And I think he's one of them. Aaron J. Bryan said, wait, there's 4. I thought there was 1. I just read this new post from Tony Buzbee that said he's filed 4 cases on behalf of women against Deshaun Watson today. The cases allege assault. They won't share the alleged details here, and we won't try the case in the press, but the cases are publicly filed for all to see. So people will get the cases, and we'll get that information. So I just want to, if you want to judge Tony Buzbee by his IG and his actions, please do that. I don't give a shit. I think the dude's a fake and a phony and a coward and a piece of shit, garbage ass human being. And that's it. That has nothing to do with his clients or their allegations. So I want to make sure that you guys also separate that. As far as Deshaun Watson goes, I've never met the guy. I've been in the same barber shop as him a couple of times. I know that he was kind enough to sign a football for our streamathon. That is all the dealings I've had with him. Now, I will tell you that there was in the interest of fairness, there was a tweet by Benjamin Albright that came out who said he talked to a Texans player, teammate of Deshaun Watson, to me via text just now. It would be the most unexpected thing ever if true. I don't believe it. No way, no how. And while that's good, we also would have said the same thing about Bill Cosby. And we did when the allegations first surfaced. I was like, there is no way that Bill fucking Cosby would drug and rape women. One woman. 70? So I just want to remind you guys of that are quick to take Deshaun Watson's side because he seems like a nice guy. I saw a message somewhere on a board or tweet or whatever. I don't know if it was Friendster or WhatsApp. I don't even know what the fuck WhatsApp is. But somebody said, yeah. And the people that live next to John Wayne Gacy thought he was a nice guy. So guys, let it play out. Don't rush to judgment. Fuck Tony Buzbee. Believe women. That's my message. And by the way, I was supposed to do the Isaiah factor. That might still happen, but I look forward to giving my opinions on that. I'm curious to see his new producer reached out to me and was like, hey, can you do the show today? And I said, I'd love to. And then it got pushed back, and I don't know if it's going to happen now, but look for your boy on the Isaiah factor tonight on Fox 26. If it does happen, I'll tweet about it. So if you guys want to watch it, but you've heard my take on the whole thing. You've heard my take. I have not caught up with the chat. I wanted to make sure that my sole focus was on giving you guys my opinion on this. I'm sorry if I ignored some really good conversation in the chat. I hope you guys had some good dialogue. My chat moderators, Jeremy Binniger, Luis Zelaya, and Chris Householder, Reverend House, I hope if anything got out of line in there, you guys took care of it. I know they would. I know that 99.9% of the deckheads are respectful of their fellow deckheads, including the deckettes. So I just hope nothing got out of hand. Rev House said he isn't stuff. What makes this stink, not her allegations. People aren't going after him just because women came forward. They are doing it for him, making all of this about him. Yeah, even in his second post, he ended up starting off about the allegations and then about his political beliefs and being brave, how brave he is. Fuck you, bro. You ain't the brave one. It's the women that came forward that are the brave ones, not you. You're doing your job and you're going to get paid handsomely no matter what. Because let's be real. I'm going to say one more thing about this. There's only one winner when this is over with. Let's be very clear about that. There is only one winner in this whole scenario, and that is Tony Buzbee. If Deshaun Watson is proven guilty, he loses. And that also means that those women have been sexually assaulted. They lose. Tony Buzbee, however, gets paid and got the clout and the notoriety and the publicity from the case. He wins, Deshaun loses, they lose. Even though they got money, it is still proven that these women were sexually assaulted. There's no amount of money that can make that okay. Let's assume it's not true. These women have come forward and lied. Deshaun Watson's name has been dragged through the mud. But guess who still got paid? And guess who still got the clout? And guess who still got the attention and the notoriety and getting the money? Tony Buzbee. There is only one winner in this whole thing, and it's Tony Buzbee. That's a problem. That is the problem. Christopher Jones, one of that I was speaking about earlier, said on the chat, these cases, assuming they all are here in Houston, are likely within the statute of limitations. Why not file criminal complaints with the civil complaints, with the civil claims? It's not an either or thing. Yeah, exactly. The allegation, first woman that came forward stems back to March of 2020. The statute of limitations isn't out on that. And I'm not even a lawyer, but I know that. J-Ro said, come on, Barry, you can't compare Bill to Deshaun now. Come on, bro. Apples and oranges. How was I comparing Bill to Deshaun? No. You misunderstood my point, J-Ro. You talking about Cosby. What I'm saying is no one, J-Ro, including you and me, would have ever thought that the allegations against Bill Cosby would be true. So what I'm saying is you cannot dismiss this yet. You have to let this play out in court. Let him defend himself. Let the women make their allegations and defend themselves in court and defend their allegations. But to just come in and say, yeah, but Deshaun's a nice guy. Do you know how many people would have vouched for Bill Cosby? And I'm not suggesting that they are the same, because 70 and 4 is a lot different, and drugging and raping versus showing your privates or whatever the allegations were. It is materially different. But the point of believability is the same, J-Ro. A lot of us don't believe that people commit the crime until they do. There are some people where you're like, yep, totally saw that coming. Right? Totally. If you were to tell me that Tucker Carlson was gay, I'd be like, yep. He protested too much. But you tell me Bill Cosby drugged and raped 70 women? No way I would have believed that. Just like on a personal level, it would be a shock to me if the allegations against Deshaun Watson were true. It would be stunning. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to believe women, because that is a slippery slope and that is a dangerous game to play. So that was my point. Charles Garza, I was getting to this, buddy. We had a lot to get to. My bad. Yes, we do have 2 birthdays. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I got to do another shot? I guess I do, because Lamb Bomb! It is Charles Garza's birthday, Deckheads, and it is Marsha's birthday. We have 2 birthdays, 2 Deckheads, born on St. Patrick's Day. It's a whole thing. It's a party. It's a shindig. Let's get after it. This shot is for Marsha and Charles Garza. Charles, thank you for the super chat, buddy. That was way too kind of you to be spending money on me on your birthday. But I do this shot in your honor. I thank you for being a deckhead and being here every day. I appreciate it. And Marsha, I've known you for damn near a decade. I love you, sweetie. Happy birthday. Cheers to both of you. I'm going to be shit-faced when Frankie Quinones shows up at 3 o'clock. White Magic said, I don't understand why he's being attacked because of his profession. I don't know who you're talking about. You talking about Tony Buzbee or are you talking about Deshaun Watson? Jeff Bells with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Jeff, I'm sorry I missed your super chat yesterday. I have sinned against you, my Lord. Oh, there's another one that we would have never thought would have done anything. Jimmy Swaggart, remember him? But he loves Jesus. Good Lord, one of our plumbers fell through the sheetrock and fractured his back. Oh, fuck, that's not good. I thought he just fell through the sheetrock. I didn't get to the fractured his back part. God damn, I need you to be careful out here, homie. You can't be having no deckheads with fractured backs. I hope your buddy's okay. I'm glad it wasn't you. That sucks for him. I hope he's okay. Be careful out there, homie. Please. Look at Marsha on the slide wishing happy birthday. Rev said he was slimy during the mayoral race. People aren't hating because he's a lawyer. Yeah, I saw something, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a post where he apparently claimed his house was burglarized during the mayoral campaign to try to get free publicity and attention. What? No way. Charles is getting litty already. Hey, buddy. Happy birthday, Charles. You go get litty. You deserve it. You were born today. I mean, your mom did all the work. But, you know, it's whatever. Need to sage some shit, huh, Jeff? All right. I really thought about what was my message and take on the Deshaun Watson, Tony Buzbee sexual assault allegations going to be. It was troublesome. It's different when there's a level of familiarity, right? Like I said earlier, if you were to tell me that this was Russell Wilson or Tom Brady, I'd be like, oh, well, they fucked up. But, you know, he's here. He's our quarterback. I've run into him at J. Rose Barbershop. He's contributed to our streamathon. It adds a level of complexity. But I think, again, and I'll reiterate this one more time, it becomes dangerous to assume that women are lying when they come forward in regards to sexual assault allegations. If it's proven to be so, then shame on them. And a lesson should be learned by all. But we, for far too long, have ignored women and dismissed their claims. There's no way Frank in accounting would do that. Frank's a good guy. He always brings posts to the potluck. And so it is awkward. And it is a slippery slope for me and a lot of people in this city. My message. Believe women. Let's see what happens. Fuck Tony Buzbee. That's it. Chris Rock said it best. Men lie a lot, but women tell the biggest lies. Listen, I'm not going to associate biggest lies with sexual assault allegations. Again, I think that's a slippery slope. Cece said, never heard that. I did hear when some chick destroyed his home. I had other stuff to talk about, believe it or not, and we got to get to our break on time because joining me at 3 o'clock is Frankie Quinones. You know him as Cholo Fit. You know him as Juanita Carmelita. You've seen him on the Dress Up Gang. Hilarious stand-up comedian. Tours all over the country. He's a popular dude, and I'm so appreciative that he's taking the time to hang out with me for an hour and, you know, look at my pasty green shirt, have an ass, talk weird. So I'm going to move on, chat. Now, you guys argue it. That's fine. If you're over on the Podbean, I wanted to let you know. Jesus is over there, inflating the numbers. KD is over there. Here is the daily announcement of Podbean better than YouTube. Yeah, that is a fact. If you are listening to this show on Podbean live, I want you to know this is a visual show. There are slides. There's my super handsome face. If you've never seen me, God, I'm gorgeous. Not fat at all. I don't have a lot of chins. The nose isn't big and crooked. It's amazing over here. Come check it out. And subscribe while you're here, because daddy's a whore and he needs his subs. The goal is 10,000 people. I've got a raging boner to get to 10,000. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do that. But if you can't listen or watch, if you can't watch live, I get it. Use the Podbean app and listen live, or check out the podcast or rewatch the show later on YouTube. But if you have the ability to watch live on YouTube, then goddamn it, that's where it's at. Now, Aaron J. Bryant said 100K. Famo, that's I'm trying to crawl before I walk. Goal number 1 really should have been 5K. Like, nah. Sorry, I had to burp. Let's go big or go home. It does look like I have a tick when I do that, because I'm just like, see, I didn't burp right there. You guys would know what I was talking about if you were watching on YouTube instead of listening on Podbean. I digress. The goal was originally 10K, and then I was like, there's no way I'm going to get that. I'm going backwards, and people are leaving, and I'm not even getting one a day. I'm not even averaging 30 a month. But you know what? I've started some money and effort into the marketing of this show, which I hadn't done since it started. Let's grow this bad boy. Let's get it. That'll eventually be the goal. I want that fucking YouTube button. I want the YouTube button, and god damn it, I'm going to get one. If I got to go out and create 999,000 accounts, I'm not doing that. So the juggernaut is going off at 10,000, Barry on sports. What are you talking about, juggernaut? I don't know what that means. I don't even know what the fuck that I don't know what you're talking about. Let's close Tony Buzbee's. One other thing that I needed to get to. Oh, fuck, did I never tweet that? I sure the fuck didn't tweet the show. God damn it, I didn't tweet the show out. Well, they're late now. We're here. Tyrod Taylor's a Texan. I like this move. I really do. I don't think that this is earth-shattering. Oh, by the way, this was the Texans statement on the whole thing. Let's just, for full disclosure, the Texans did make a statement. They said, in regards to the Deshaun Watson sexual assault allegations, they said, we became aware of a civil lawsuit involving Deshaun Watson through a social media post last night. This is the first time we've heard of the matter, and we hope to learn more soon. We take accusations of this nature that involve anyone within the Houston Texans organization seriously. We will await further information before making any additional statements on this incident. So that was the Texans statement, if you were not aware. Now, the Texans also went out and made a move that I like. This isn't earth-shattering. This guy's not going to lead you to a Super Bowl, but this was a wise and savvy move on the part of Nick Caserio. I like this move, and here's why. The deal was Tyrod Taylor is going to get $6 million to be a backup quarterback in Houston, Texas. But if they trade Deshaun for picks or a rookie or a young guy who's just not ready yet, and Tyrod Taylor needs to start, he is serviceable. He is decent. He's a pretty good quarterback still. And he can make up to $12 million by being a starter. So it's lucrative for him. He can prove that he's back after the punctured lung had him out for the remainder of the year at the Chargers. This is a win-win for everybody. J-Ro told me chill out, raging boner. I mean, look, yeah, white guys don't really get raging boners. It's like kind of angry. It's like simmering boners. Whatever. Don't judge me, Jay. I like the deal, though. I think it's a good look. If Deshaun stays, you've got a quality backup in Tyrod Taylor for Deshaun Watson. If he does get traded and they go out and get Tua, well, you got a guy that can compete with Tua in camp. If they go out and just get draft picks, you got a guy that can compete with whoever they draft, if it's a quarterback this year. If not, you've got a guy that, he's not going to go out and blow the roof off of NRG or anything, but he's not going to embarrass you. I mean, he might, but this isn't bad. This isn't a huge risk for the Texans. It's a one-year deal. I like it. I think it was a shrewd and smart move by Nick Caserio and the Texans, which is one of the few we've seen from this organization in 5 years? So I dig it. Good job, Nick Caserio. Good job, Texans. I like it. All right. We got to get to a break. I'm already behind by a little bit. Joining me in hour number 2 for the entirety of the hour. You know him from the Dress Up Gang. You know him as Cholo Fit, Creeper. You know him as Juanita Carmelita. You know him from his characters. Maybe you've seen him opening for Craig Robinson on the road. Maybe him headlining shows all across the country at improvs and everywhere else. Frankie Quinones, one of the funniest dudes in the business, joins me in hour number 2. We're going to take a break. We're back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Stick around, hoes.
My arms are small, my legs are small, my feet are small, my head's small, my eyes are small, my eyebrows small, my nose small, my mouth small, and my belly small, my hiney big. That's just my baby dog. 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 That's just my baby.
Hey, we all know there's a lot of cholo workout videos out there, but this one is gonna have you like, damn, homie, that's what's up, you know? This is Cholo Fit with Creeper. Boom, homie, feel that burn, represent. Life can be like, whatever, eh? And a lot of times, people, they're dumb. Damn, you're stressing me out right now. Go give me some jelly beans or something.
Sir Jesus!
You might need to pick up the pace, homie, because that neighbor's chihuahua got out again, homie. Last time that fool bit you in the ankle, and it was pretty bad. It was like a demon came out of her or something. Hey, Picky Boo, mija, like, can I get your number and everything?
Open up the gates, open up the dams, demonic sea dolphin devils, just...
You're saying I should ram the monster hyena, or?
I myself have never turned away from a good ramming.
Hey, fool, like, get out of here, let's do our things.
Of course, Carmelita, I would never disrespect you or any woman for that matter.
That's right. Because I'll beat your ass, you know?
Nowadays, bro, people think they party. They no party, bro. They no party, bro.
It's okay, man. I be the dad, man. For today.
Oh, that's cute. Oh! I'm cute.
That's right. Yeah. You're not cute. You'll never be cute.
Man, fuck that. Your fucking pozole sucked anyway.
What'd you say to me, mijo?
She was like a magical unicorn, eh? And I seen a unicorn before, homie, on my tío's ranch. But I was pretty faded or whatever, eh? So it could have been a regular horse, but I swore, fool, I saw a horn and some glitter, eh? So yeah, it was a unicorn, eh?
I need this, dude. Thank you.
Hey, but that's my tia's Tupperware jar.
Oh, I can bring it back.
If you could bring it back, eh? Because she gets all, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, where's my Tupperware jar?
I know,
Yeah,
they
dumb.
sure.
Point of the story, fool, is that I was willing to do the right thing. La jura! Children are the future, homie. You know, we gotta take care of them, man. Nurture them now. So that way, you know, end up robbing us or whatever, eh? All right, homie, so hit the subscribe button wherever it's at and tune in every Thursday for a new video, eh? That's what's up right there.
Hey, welcome back to hour number 2 of Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Listen, joining me at hour number 2 is going to be Frankie Quinones, Cholo Fit, a.k.a. Juanita Carmelita. All his characters are fucking hilarious. This dude is amazingly funny. And I want to get into it with him because I want to talk about what he does versus what other people in our business do. He's a stand-up comedian first and foremost. So I think you're going to want to hear his story because it's really good. But until then, I want to tell you guys real quick while we wait on Frankie to join us. I want to tell you about Dan's Seafood and Wings. I got to brag on Dan's because my brother-in-law, Raymond Lucio, took his buddies out there to Dan's The Crew. They were close by, and they were like, where do you want to eat? He said, I want to go try Dan's. They support Barry on Deck. Let's roll out there and see what it is. So he went to Dan's. Hold on. I just got a text from Frank. Hold on. All good, homie. I'm behind. Take your time. It's LA traffic. Frankie probably won't join me until 3:50. Okay. This is let me start over with the Dan's. Can I please? All right. Sorry. I just got that. All right. Dan's Seafood and Wings. It is crawfish season. And I got to thank my guy, my brother-in-law, Ray Lucio. He took the crew out to Dan's. And because I didn't ask them to do this, he was just like, we were close. I wanted to try it. They support the show. We wanted to support them. He's like, Barry, I said, look, be honest with me when you eat it. I want to know what you really think of Dan's. He's like, dog, this food is really good. The service was super fast. The food was amazing. He got the fish and shrimp. The guys, Luis and the gang, got the po' boys. They said it was all delicious. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want crawfish because it's crawfish season, look no further than Dan's Seafood and Wings. Some of the best in the city of Houston, hands down. All made fresh, all delicious. 4 options for you. Garlic butter seasoning, mild, medium, and extra spicy. You can check it all out, plus their locations at eatatdans.com. That's eatatdans.com. Go check them out. The Deckheads love it. You're going to love it. I promise you that. Even Nora loves Dan's Seafood and Wings. If we get seafood, she won't let me go anywhere else. She's like, no, fam. Drive your ass to Uvalde and get me some of that spicy shrimp. That's how it goes. Now, we have time because Frankie texted me and said, racing home. I'll be there in 15 minutes, homie. That was at 3:01. So we do have time because I saw in the chat where the Reverend Lord Chris Householder III was like, Barry, it's Whisker Wednesday, you raggedy bitch. Where's our animals? Well, other than your mom's house, I do have another dog to show you. That was for last night when you said you had sex with my mom. Yeah, last night on the Twitch stream, I said, House, how many women have you slept with? He said 9, but I forgot to count your mom. So fuck that guy and his dead mom. That's not appropriate. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. It's a good thing House knows I like him. That took a turn. That got dark for a second. I love you, House, and you know that. Yeah, he said he had sex with Jenny. So House is my dad. Hold on a goddamn minute now. He said he pulled out. Yeah, not Jenny, his mom. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait until my mom comes back on this show. You better not run and hide, Reverend House, because I want you to be in the chat when I say, Mom, do you see that guy named Rev House? He said he got in them guts. Yeah, that's what he said. He said he got in your guts and wiggled around a bit. That's what he said. She's going to fuck you up, House. All right, so let's do Whisker Wednesday while we wait on Frankie to join. And believe me, I've got plenty of stuff. If Frankie can't make it, I'm good, fam. Y'all know me. I'll just fucking end this show early. Let's do Whisker Wednesday, though. Every single Wednesday, I bring you some of the absolute cutest kitties in the entire city of Houston, all brought to you by Special Pals. They're open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. If you want to adopt Apple or Cheer, and you can rename them. If Cheer is a stupid name for a dog, which it is, you can rename them. Don't worry. All the dogs that you get and cats that you adopt at Special Pals, they come fully vaccinated, microchipped, spayed or neutered, and they're up to date on their flea and heartworm prevention medication. So you literally go there, you adopt an animal, you go home. You don't have to be like, well, I got to go get them, get this. I got to go get them, get that. None of that stuff. Visit specialpals.org, see all of the adoptable animals they have, learn how you can help and donate. And we'll start with Apple. My gird, y'all. Apple is the cutest fucking cat on the planet. Look at this bad boy. Apple, 6-month-old tabby kitty, reminds me of Sarah. Nora and I had a cat named Sarah. Nora loved this cat so much. If the devil himself would have appeared in our house and said, choose one, I'm taking Sarah the cat or Barry the husband, she'd have been like, I'm going to miss him. Love you, sissy. That's what she called Sarah. And she and that cat would have lived happily ever after. So this looks exactly like Sarah looked. Apple's a 6-month-old tabby kitty girl found as a stray and made her way to Special Pals all the way from Aransas Pass. I don't know where that is, but it sounds far away. Anytime Pass is in the name of the town, that's a long ways away. When she's not chasing lasers or strings, she works really hard on her lounging. Add this affectionate girl to your family today. Apple is a cutie. Look, let's be real. Oh, that's down by Corpus? Oh my gosh, that's a long ways for a cat to walk. Listen, I almost can guarantee you that she's soft because I'm telling you, this looks exactly like our cat Sarah, and she had the softest fur. It was like my grandma's mustache. Oh, it was just like a pillow of hair. You could just lay on it. So go adopt Apple if you have the opportunity. Specialpals.org is where you can see more about Apple. You can talk to them. You can go out and adopt her Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. And don't forget, spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, all of that takes place, including the flea and heartworm prevention when you go to Special Pals. All right, now, that's not it, though, because I do got a doggy for you. Look at Cheer. Oh, my God. See, look, Katie even said, Apple can confirm. Soft. Oh, so soft. This is Cheer, you guys. Now, Cheer is a 4-month-old blue pitty. It's a female. Her and her 5 siblings were on an oopsie litter, and their owners were desperate for help, so they had to get rid of all the pups. Special Pals took in the pups once they were old enough and sponsored the spaying of their mama, which is a great thing that they do to help curb the cycle of pet overpopulation. Cheer is the last of her siblings. Can you believe nobody has adopted Cheer yet? Look at that. Look at that. She's getting a good head start learning leash and potty training. She's waiting for a home. She needs you. Right now, log on to specialpals.org and adopt Cheer. It's that simple. Look right there, the red, specialpals.org. You can go get Cheer right now. Look at that face. You want to let that face down? You want to tell Cheer? Basically, chat, what I'm telling you is, if you don't go adopt Cheer right now, you're basically looking that pup in the face and saying, fuck you, Cheer. Stupid ass Cheer. I don't want you in my house. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Go get Cheer. Specialpals.org. That's Cheer. There's the website. Go adopt Cheer. Don't be a raggedy bitch. That's right. Francisco's over here flicking the pod bean, tuning in live. We have 7 people. See, now I can add. I got 45 on YouTube. I got 7 on Podbean. That's probably 7 of the same that are on the YouTubes. It doesn't matter. Listen, numbers don't matter. Unless we're counting inches. That's the Jamie talking. Hey. All right, so there's your Whisker Wednesday brought to you by Special Pals. Could have left all that out. Don't worry, Katie. I'll cut that if we do a read for him. One other thing I wanted to discuss while we wait on Frankie, I got some St. Patrick's Day facts for you folks. I know a lot of you, including myself, let's start from the bottom up. It's not St. Patty's Day with 2 T's, you dumbass. I'm pretty much talking to me because you see down at the bottom in the yellow where it says St. Patty's Day facts? It did say St. Patty's Day facts with 2 T's, like hamburger patty. And then when I got to the last section of this where it said it's St. with 2 D's, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to change this slide. So the correct pronunciations are St. Patrick's Day, St. Patty's Day with 2 D's, or St. Pat's Day. Now that other one, I'll try to say that. If you clip this, though, you're a dick. La fili padreg sona duit as gelg. That was definitely not it. That was the whitest Irish pronunciation ever. Some other facts about St. Patrick's Day. Never wore green. In fact, he wore navy, my favorite color. So all you folks out here with your stupid ass green on, you guys look like fucking idiots today with wearing green. You're out here making everything green. You look like a fucking moron. He didn't even wear green. He wore navy, you idiot. St. Patrick isn't even Irish. He was born in Scotland. Boy, you guys look stupid right now. He was born in 387 in Kilpatrick in Scotland, you dumbasses. Also, the legend that he drove the snakes from Ireland, there were no snakes in Ireland. The island never had snakes. You guys are dumb. You didn't know this? Jeez. I knew all this. Except I like how to spell St. Patty's Day. Idiots. White Magic said it's the dumbest holiday ever. Listen, this is the quintessential white person's holiday. White people... Now, I'm speaking as a white person. If you're listening on Podbean and you're like, that guy sounds black, this is racist. No. You should have watched the Twitch stream last night. You'd understand. By the way, twitch.tv/Barry is funny. White people will come up with any fucking reason to celebrate a fake ass holiday. In fact, I remember last weekend, was it? My sister-in-law Nancy was over to the house. So it was my Mexican sister-in-law Nancy, my Mexican wife Nora. And I'm like, we're talking about St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, you guys, it's basically like St. Patrick's Day is basically Cinco de Mayo. And my sister-in-law Nancy looks at me and goes, yeah, we don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That's just white people. And I was like, what? Like my Aunt Diane used to do that. If you said something that shocked her, she'd go, what? And she's the loudest person I've ever met in my life. Y'all think I'm loud? Holy shit. My Aunt Diane was ridiculous. You'd be like, yeah, Mexicans don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. She'd be like, what? What? Yeah. Cinco de Mayo is a stupid ass white person holiday. Just like St. Patrick's Day. Even Irish people are like, can we just not be white? Just because you guys are fucking embarrassing us. This guy wasn't even fucking Irish. He was Scottish. There was no goddamn snakes. He wore navy. What are we doing? White people are like, we gotta have a reason to drink. Oh my God. Let's go, Becky. Shot. I'm not doing another one, by the way. I will be too drunk for Frankie. I'm already feeling it. So yeah. Hispanics, people from Mexico don't even Cinco de Mayo. White people were fucking everything up. Stop it. I don't know what to do about us. I really don't. Tony called us freaking idiots. There you go. On the record, Tony Garza just said, all white people, freaking idiots. Dandy Dan said, and the way giving white people an excuse to get drunk St. Patrick's Day is just like Cinco. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. White people are just like, oh my God, we got to celebrate President's Day. We probably really didn't even get our independence on 4th of July. It was probably like sooner or later. But there was like some basic bitch in Philadelphia that was like, oh my God, we have got to get drunk. What is today? July 4th. Happy Independence Day. They were like, what the fuck? That was on May 17th. What are you talking about? Shut up. I said it. It will be so. My great-great-grandfather was Benjamin Franklin. Obviously one of the greatest presidents of all time. He wasn't a president. So you're an idiot. Cece said, false. Irish folks were going insane in Ireland when I was there for St. Patty's. Really? Oh, now that's a shocker. Are you sure they just weren't trying to get away from you? They were like, oh my God. I'm 164th Cherokee. White people will do anything not to be white. I know somebody does a bit on that. I don't know the bit, but it is the truth. I present to you white magic. My dad's black. He's your stepdad. Settle down, Screech. All right. That's enough picking on white magic. I feel like that's all I do. I never say anything nice about white magic. I just fuck with him. And he's a nice dude. He's a good guy. I love white magic. I just like fucking with him because he fucks with me a lot, okay? Fair is fair. What did I have for you? Oh, we were talking about Tyrod Taylor. We were talking about the Texans moves. We were talking about Andy Dalton to the Bears. We were talking about yesterday. We talked about all the moves that the New England Patriots made. Well, guess what? Vegas has released new Super Bowl odds, and here they all are. Chiefs are still the front runners at a plus 550, followed by the Bucks at a plus 650. I expect that to fall because I'm not exactly convinced that Tom Brady can do it again, which I don't know why. I'm just not. All right. There's going to be a name on that left column that sneaks in and surprises a bunch of people. You know who's not going to sneak in? The Houston fucking Texans. Because of the drama with Deshaun and all the other moves that they have made and not made, the Texans literally have the worst odds of making the Super Bowl of any team in the NFL. Ergo, Vegas thinks the Texans are the worst team in football. Yay! Congratulations, Houston. Worse than the Jags. Worse than the Lions and the Bengals. For God's sakes, the Bears signed Andy Dalton to be their starting quarterback. And they still have better odds to make the Super Bowl than the Texans do with either Deshaun Watson or Tyrod Taylor or a young, promising superstar. It's pretty bad. It's pretty, as Nick would do on the air. By the way, this the information that I have said the Patriots with their pickups on free agency on day one, they went from a plus 3,300 to plus 2,200 just like that. Just with the signings, just getting Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. The Bears odds, when they signed Andy Dalton, it went from a plus 3,300 to a plus 5,000. They actually fell. It's pretty sad. The troubles with Deshaun Watson and the fact that he wanted to go to Denver or San Francisco or two locations that he said he would like to be traded to. Because he said he wanted to go to Denver, the Broncos, Jeff Bell, you're going to like this. The Broncos went from a plus 6,600 to a plus 5,000 just with the mere mention that Deshaun Watson could be a Denver Bronco. And the Niners, which is, I'm telling you right now, if the Niners get Deshaun Watson, go ahead on that list of Super Bowl contenders because they went from a plus 2,000 to a plus 1,600 with just the thought that they get Deshaun Watson. I'm going to guarantee if they get Deshaun Watson, they enter the top 5. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. They're at a plus 1,600. Ahead of them are the Bills, Ravens, Rams, Packers, Bucks, and Chiefs. But I'm going to say I kind of feel like they move up to like a plus 1,300 or a plus 1,200 if they get Deshaun Watson. Because this is just the idea of them getting it. And they moved up plus 400 or minus 400. It's pretty wild. So there it is. There's all of you. I don't know how the Saints are still plus 2,800 without Drew Brees. That's kind of shocking to me. Because you're talking about now the Saints are they either have Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. Neither one of those guys are leading the Saints to a Super Bowl. Period. I mean, the Titans have a better opportunity of making, and the Titans aren't as good as we thought. I think the Titans and Steelers have a better opportunity of making the Super Bowl than the Saints do. Now that they don't have Drew Brees. So there you go. There are your Super Bowl odds with all the updates. Amos Johnson said, I wonder if the Cardinals will go up since they added A.J. Green. I mean, it's not prime A.J. Green, but it is depth. I think that they probably already got their boost from J.J. Watt. That's my thought. Dandy Dan said the Jags are getting a possible stud QB, so that's not a surprise, and it might take into account the Watson probably gone. Yeah, well, I mean, if Deshaun Watson is out of the division, I mean, they did get better on defense with the Shaq Griffin signing. You're going to get Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if he's going to be a stud QB. I really don't know what to expect from Trevor Lawrence in the NFL, I'm being honest with you, but you got to take the guy. But I mean, when you look at draft classes and you look at the number one pick, I mean, Patrick Mahomes wasn't the number one pick in the draft. People moved up. I mean, the Chiefs moved up and got him. But Trevor Lawrence could be Mitch Trubisky as much as he could be Patrick Mahomes. And I would say, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's going to be a dud like Trubisky, but I would say he's closer to being Mitch Trubisky than he is to being Patrick Mahomes. Just my 2 pennies. Hey, Robert Likes Beer is here. Hello, Robert. Tony Carter said, did Vegas not see all the free agent signings? Game changers? Not really. What else did I have? Hold on. Oh, I needed to do this real quick. So, Juan Gonzalez, are you still in the chat, Juan? Are you still here, Juan? Oh, Juan, where are you at, Juan? Is Juan still here? Juan, if you're here, I'm going to need you to speak up. Say hello in the chitty chat. Is Juan on the pod bean? Is Juan over here flicking the bean? Francisco Barco says, Cinco de Drinko. That's how white people think about it. Is Juan still here or did he have to bounce? Hey, Juan is here. Juan, my friend, I have to thank you. I got your Venmo. Deckheads, one and all, I got to tell you. Juan's the shit. He sent me a Venmo for $50. Here's the thing. He said, here's $50. 10 of it is for the animal shelter for today's cause. 10 of it is for you. And 25 of it is to go towards the woman's shelter if donations are possible. I don't know. Juan, here's what I'm going to do with the $25 that you donated to the women's shelter. 10 of it will go to Special Pals. 10 of it will go into Daddy's pocket. And then the other 25, which you're missing like $5, by the way. I don't know if you're good at math, Juan, but 10, and 25 ain't 50. You're pretty bad at this. Anyways, the 25, I will definitely make sure that the shelter gets, whether I buy games for the gaming systems or we just check. I will make sure they get that. So I appreciate you sending the $50, buddy. Thank you so much for supporting me, the show, and the Bay Area Turning Point, because they do a lot for women and children who are victims of domestic and sexual violence. That's a weird way to get into the next segment. I don't want to transition to my guy like that. That's not a cool thing to do. Yeah, I did forget to carry the one, Donna. But I decided he is out of LA traffic and he is going to join us now. I'm going to get settled. I can see him in the green room. I want my guy to be ready. So whenever he's settled, we're going to go to him. But man, I have been trying to get Frankie on this show this show's been around since May. I started tweeting Frankie pretty early, like, hey, come on. He was like, yeah, I got too much shit to do. I ain't fucking with you. No, but Frankie is finally here. I'm excited about this. You guys have seen him as Creeper, a.k.a. Cholo Fit. You've seen him as Juanita Carmelita. Now, I got to tell you the backstory about how Frankie and I met. And I'm going to remind him of this when we get there. But I featured for him at the River Center Improv or the River Center Comedy Club in San Antonio. And I got to say this, and I'm going to bring you in right now, because I want you to hear this from me. You guys, welcome to the show, Frankie Quinones. Frankie, thank you for being here, buddy.
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you been? I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, it's been a minute. It's the first time I've seen you without your glasses.
I know, I don't look as nerdy, right? I mean, I'm still an idiot, but I just don't look like an idiot. Dude, last time I saw you, you were headlining the Houston Improv. I came and hang out with you. But when we met, I was featuring for you in San Antonio. And I wanted to tell you this. By the way, Francisco Barca says, sup, fool? We have a live chat. I don't know if you can see the chat. I think you have that option, but you'll see that. I see it right here. Okay. I got to tell you something, man. I don't know if I ever told you this when I was there or in Houston, and I was thinking about this today. Now, the River Center Improv was notorious for being sad. As far as comedy clubs go. Yeah.
It's like a old, like a rundown, like an abandoned bowling alley vibe.
It was fucking huge, right? Like the ceilings were like 90 foot high, which is the worst thing you could have for a comedy club. It looked like a big ass cafeteria. Like if you went to high school at like the biggest high school in Bel Air or some shit, like that would be this comedy club, and they shouldn't look like that. And I had never in my life, Frankie, seen more than 25 people in that fucking club, and I worked it all the time. Okay? So I show up, I don't know you, you don't know me. We do the first show, it ain't great because it's like a fucking Wednesday or something. But the rest of the weekend,
because I remember we got in that first night, and they were like, yeah, we sold like 6 tickets. I was like, what? And they go, the bartender there was like, hey man, I'm gonna let you know right now, they don't promote at all. Like it's totally on you. So immediately I like put an ad into a Facebook ad, and like, you know, we got some people in there, but it was like, it was just
6
like an empty bowling alley.
Like people think when you do comedy, you just show up and there's hundreds of people, and it's just not like that. If the club doesn't do their part, which is credit to you and your followers and your fan base, You show up and they've promoted you with 6 people. So you had to promote it. But homie, I got to tell you, that weekend, I swear to God, I've worked for, I'm going to forget his name. The dude that mentored Dave Chappelle. He just did Tiffany Haddish's show. Tony, God damn it, I'm forgetting his. I mean, I worked with Tim Dillon there. I worked with no one.
You're talking about Paul Mooney, or you're talking about Paul Mooney?
No, it's why am I blanking on his name? Dude, he's a fucking absolute legend. It's not Tony Rock. It's Tony, not Tony West. God damn it, I can't remember. I'll think of it way later. I'll text it to you. Anyways, he was Dave Chappelle's mentor. He just did Tiffany Haddish.
Somebody said Woods. You talking about Tony Woods?
Tony Woods. He was there. Yeah. Tim Dillon, who's just going crazy, was there, right? All of these names that I worked with, homie, nobody sold more tickets than you, period, in the story. You're the man, bro. If you could put 150 people in that venue, which, by the way, they folded. They're not even around anymore. I don't know if you knew that.
I know, yeah. I was tripping because it's like you said, it was real big space. And then I think I was on the second night. You're like, this is the most people I've seen in here. I was like, really? Like,
because Frankie was like, bro, this sucks. Because you're used to, I mean, dude, once Creeper blew up, you're used to sold out venues and lines around the corner. I don't know what was wrong with this place, man, but I had never seen it like that before or since. And
that was the first time I went to a spot that didn't have any radio lined up, nothing. And luckily I just reached out to the local radio stations on my own. And then they were like, oh shit, you're here? Like, hey man, come through. And I was like, oh shit, okay. But it's all good. I know whatever. They were going through their tough time or whatever. But I was more bummed because the green room is so far from the stage, homie. You know what I mean? So I have to do the characters, so I'm changing and having to run back. And I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Hey, it was
because your show is different than a lot of people's. And I got to tell you, and I think we talked about this at the time, but I really had to admire what you did because you were, and I tell people this all the time when we start, because comics talk about the business, right? And one of the things that comes up, especially now in the YouTube and the social media era, is, well, there's all these characters that do comedy, but they're not comics. They can't command a stage as a stand-up comic. If they're not in character, they can't hold the audience. So they go up there, they do 10 minutes, they let everybody else on their crew do the time. And I gotta say, I didn't know what to expect. I was so impressed with you because, and I tell people this all the time, I'm like, there's one dude in this business that's not that way, and that's Frankie, because you were a comic before you were a character.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a trip that you say that because we've all had experiences with, and I can't knock anybody's hustle. If you're a YouTube star that sells tickets, you sell tickets. It's a business in the end. But as stand-ups, we would see
Southern Mama.
YouTube stars, and you're like, oh,
I'll say a name. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to open for Southern Mama. I want to open for Frankie Quinones. Fuck Southern Mama. I'll say it. You see Southern Mama get on stage and eat shit for 10 minutes, and you're like, how are there 570 people in this fucking place?
Yeah, man. Well, we've all seen that as comics, but that's what a lot of people were like, well, what is he gonna do live? They just knew me from the videos. But then, as I've been doing stand up now 16 years, and so it was like, but when the characters popped off, I was filling tickets. So it was cool to see. It was just cool to show people that side and for people to be pumped on it. Like, damn, homie, I didn't know you did stand up too. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, it was fun to be able to show them that and be able to put on a good show or try to put on a good show.
And it was so unique because what happened to you is what a lot of us as comedians would love to happen. You go viral, you blow up, you're able to be a draw because a lot of us just kind of, go through this whole game of comedy hoping. I mean, our careers a lot of times are hopes and wishes. We hope somebody discovers us. We wish somebody would find us. And you wish people would come out and buy tickets to your show. And so when something like what happened with you, which I want to get the story about how it happened to the people, but when it happens, it's a blessing as a comic. But if you're not a comic and you're not ready, then it becomes an issue because you can't really hold a crowd. So it was almost like you were prepped for it and you were ready.
Right. Yeah. Well, when the characters went viral, I had to develop sets for them, but with having the experience of having already been doing stand-up for over 10 years, it was a big help and it's fun. I love doing the characters on stage and then be able to dip, in and out of that and create this whole show. And, I'm still, obviously we're always trying to get better at it, but Yeah. It was definitely an advantage because when you see people that or YouTube stars that go viral, and then you can see that they're just trying to develop some kind of act so that they can do live shows and create that other avenue or whatever. But, you could tell like, homie, like, and some do a great job though. Like, I've seen someone that I'm like, let's see what they do. And then they end up killing it. And I'm like, oh, cool. But for the most part, you know what it is, homie. It's like, damn,
a lot of them have a character, but they don't have a set. And see,
exactly.
when it happened to you had a set. You were opening for what? Craig Robinson. You were opening for some big ass names in the business already. You were getting that polish. You were already. If Creeper never popped, and actually it was Juanita Carmelita that popped first, right? Your first character that really went viral.
Kind of poppers, but then Creeper once we put out Cholo, because we did Cholo. I had been doing videos with Creeper, but then once we put out Cholo Fit, it just blew up like wildfire, and it was like, within that week, homie, I was getting messages from all over the world, and I was like, what the fuck, this is crazy, homie. But
isn't that amazing?
But
you were ready though. Like if that would have never happened, you had your 30 to 45, you were touring, you were building another fan base just by being on stage with somebody else and touring like that. And you've opened for some big names, and now you're headlining some of the biggest A rooms in the country because of what happened. But that's what I tell people. Like, there's a difference between what you've done in your path versus some of these other YouTube stars, because I was surprised, if I'm being honest, that a guy that was known for a character, because I didn't know your comedy background, your show is totally different. Most people come out in character and then do a Q&A. What you do is you're like, no, fam, I'm going to show you I'm a comic first. So you come out on stage and do a set. You do jokes. You don't come out as Creeper. You don't come out as Juanita Carmelita. You come out as Frankie Quinones, the stand-up comedian, and you tell jokes for 15, 20 minutes. And then, you go back and then you get in character and you do that because that's what a lot of the people know you for. But that's what I admired so much, man. I had never seen in the business anybody yet that could do that. It was mind-blowing. And I still haven't seen anybody really that can do that.
Oh, thank you, homie. I appreciate that.
No,
yeah, it's a trip just opening for myself and then being able to work with, because I guess like you said, how many funny ass comics do we know that just don't get that, like they just don't get that break or able to feel the same. I'm like, damn, we know so many funny people.
Yep.
And so I was grateful that the characters went viral, and then I was able to sell some tickets and be able to like open up for myself and shit.
Yeah, at the tour, because I remember hearing a podcast. I don't know who it was, but it was about Sam Kinison and Andrew Dice Clay, and he was giving advice to a young comic. He said, never be a satellite comic, which is never hitch your wagon to another comedian, because they're not going to help you. They're still trying to help themselves. I mean, they may vouch for you, but if you think that another comedian is going to drag you into stardom, that's very rare, unless you are best of friends or brothers or some shit. So
even then, homie, it's like, yeah. Because I've been touring with Craig Robinson for 6 years now, and it's like people that don't know the business will be like, well, how come he doesn't put you in your movies, or how come he doesn't, it's like it's the whole business. Like, yeah, he can get me auditions and all that, but it's not like he's, it's like a whole thing.
It doesn't work it just doesn't work like that. It's like saying, I'm an accountant and you have a calculator. Let me get you a job as a senior accountant. Like, you have to go and do that on your own. I can get you the job interview, but if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you ain't gonna get the job.
You're like, hey, I got a Texas Instruments calculator on it, so yeah, I'm an accountant now.
Look, I spelled boobs. No, it don't work like that. But that's why I respect the shit out of your game, man, because you hold your own, and it's very rare in this business for somebody that went viral to have. I mean, you did it as a salty comic. You did it the right way. You were able, because if all that goes away, you're still a stand-up comic. That's the beautiful thing about you.
You know how it is with stand-up, man. It's a marathon, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that, they see you and they're like, damn, you're funny. How come you're not on, Comedy Central? How come you're not? It's like, dude, it's a marathon. We've all slept in our cars or cockroach infested, hotel rooms, and like, man, I remember sleeping in a hotel room one time, homie, and then you turn on the lights and you just see all these cockroaches scattered, and I was like, what the fuck? But it was already after the show. It was like 1 a.m., so I couldn't try to get another hotel, nothing. So I slept with what do you call it? Like toilet paper in my ears, because they can crawl in your ears. And I've been in cockroach,
in my car
cockroach here and there, but this was like a whole family.
Bro, I finally, this is how bad it got for me because I'm kind of a germaphobe. My wife is a nurse. She turned me into a germaphobe. But what I did is I was finally like, so I bought like the fucking lunch lady gloves just so I didn't have to touch, and I would sleep in a sleeping bag. I would take my own sleeping bag. I would fucking wash that bitch in the steam cycle when I got off the road. But every time I went back on the road, I would sleep in my sleeping bag. And bro, sometimes if it was like nasty, like I would stay in like a motel 4.5. They couldn't even get to 6. I would just sleep in the car. I'd be like, man, fuck it. I'm just going to go out here. At least they got security in the parking lot so I won't get robbed. I can't. No. I'll shit in the back seat. I'm not going in there. It's disgusting. People think it's glamorous, man. I mean, it ain't glamorous until you've made it.
Exactly. There's a big gap between, sleeping with cockroaches and being in a 5-star hotel.
Oh, man. I can't tell you how many gas station hot dogs I've eaten as my fucking lunch and dinner. You know that. Now, let's talk a little bit about, though, how Cholo Fit broke. Because, you said the character existed. You came up with the character, which I also just want to talk in general about your process of the characters that you create, because you're a genius when it comes to this. But you're doing Cholo Fit, and what happened? Like, walk us all through the story of how this all kind of came about for you.
Yeah, so I was doing a character, it's an extension of my father. My pops is an old school Cholo. He always like the great, real positive dude. One of the most positive people I know. But always, Chuck Taylor's, Dickies, creased his shirt. Even always had a lowrider. Always driving me to Little League practice, like, hey, mijo, lead with gratitude and work hard and respect people. And I'm like, all right, Pops, he always had a good positive message. And so, and all my cousins were like Cholos. I went through my little wannabe stage, but I got my ass kicked. So I realized that wasn't the life for me. But
like, you know what? I'm going to go read.
Yeah. I'm going to be an artist instead. But yeah, it was like an extension of that. Because I was doing videos as Creeper for a long time. And he still needed some work and get polished up, but we did a video called Cholo Whisper, which, it's kind of like a play off Dog Whisper, which is the Cesar Millan shit. But yeah. So a family rescues Creeper from the CRS, the Cholo Rescue Services. And then he's at, Steve and Lucy, and they're having problems with him though, because he's still trying to get acclimated to society. So he's kind of wilding out. So they're having problems with him. So they call in, the Cholo Whisper, and the homie comes in and helps them, like, hey, here's what you need to do, and here's what he needs. So that video did all right. It got like 500,000 views, and then people were like, you need to do another one, And so I was like, well, what's next? He's gonna have to get a job. And I'm like, well, he's gonna have trouble getting a job. And in Cholo Whisper, he was already kind of doing some yard workouts in the back. So I was like, oh, I know, he could teach a workout class in the backyard. And then we just organically came up with the name Cholo Fit. And then it just happened to be where we were at my homie's pad, and then my dad stopped by to drop off some food, and then the other homies like just stopped by, and I was like, hey, you guys, get behind me. I'm filming this video. And it just is all kind of like improv and on the spot. And it was like catching lightning in a bottle, homie. And it just worked out. And it came out great in the edit. And then we put it out. And then I woke up the next day, and it was just like everything was just blown up.
Did you think? I always hear about that when people go viral, right? Because I mean, I'm grinding it out on YouTube. I'm like, I call myself a fledgling YouTube fuckface. I'm just out here just trying, just grinding, right? And they always say it's the one video that you're like, fuck it, I'll just throw this out there. And that's the one that goes viral. All the shit that you put your heart and soul and passion into is the shit that falls flat. Was it like that with you? Because it sounds like there was some production. It sounds like you kind of had some folks that you worked with and trusted that maybe you wrote or just bounced ideas off of that helped you edit and film and all that. So were you like, all right, this is the one, this is going to be the one that breaks and goes viral?
We felt like during the filming of it, like a lot of that was unplanned, you know what I mean? But once we started editing and doing the thing, and I've been working with the same crew for a long time. And so once we started editing it and stuff like that, we knew it was funny, and we're like, oh, dude, this shit's fucking good, homie. But I thought it was going to do pretty good, but I didn't know it was going to blow up how it did, because it was within a week, and there was like, like these celebrities and art, hip hop artists and all this stuff, like reposting it, and I was getting messages from Australia and Thailand and all this shit. Like, I wasn't expecting that, you know what I mean? I was like, there's people that didn't even know what a Cholo was, but they connected with Creeper for whatever reason. And all of a sudden I had doing these shows, and there'd be like like real fitness instructors, and a lot of the fitness community was coming to my shows, homie, and they still do. And it's like, and I was like, what the fuck, homie? It was a trip. Yeah.
That is hilarious. Were you ready for this? Like, how long before you realized I'm gonna have to do Creeper on stage? And did you fight that? Because as a comic, you might be like, yeah, I want people to love me for me. I mean, Cholo, Creeper is an online character on YouTube or Vine or whatever it was. What did it break on, by the way? What platform was it? Was it YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, and then YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah,
and then I started a Instagram, and then he just blew up on there.
But, so I mean, were you like that? Were you like, well, I don't want to? I mean, I'm glad it broke, and I'm glad it's getting me notoriety, but I want to be the comic on stage. Or did you embrace it and you were like, fuck it, let's do Creeper on stage. Let's go. If this is what the people want, I'm gonna embrace it.
Yeah. Definitely that's what it ended up in the end. I'm like, let's do it, and it's fun. I love doing Creeper live and being on stage, but in the beginning, I was already doing stand up, when I was doing my spots in LA, well, they're closed right now, but when they reopen, I'll be, doing like the Laugh Factory and the Hollywood Improv and stuff like that. Those are like my home clubs. So people just within my stand up, they didn't know the name Frankie Quinones, they're just like, so it'd be it'd be kind of like, is that Creeper kind of thing? Like he's got a little, Or then when sometimes hosts would introduce me, you might know him from his Creeper character Cholo Fit, and the crowd would be like, oh shit. What? But then I would come up there like, hey, what's up, homie? He's like, yeah, this thing.
So I dated this hippie chick. I love that bit, by the way. God damn it, that bit is amazing.
So once I started touring with, and then people knowing Cholo Fit, I had to do Creeper, man. But once I started developing a set for him and doing like that, it was a lot of fun. So
I bet it's stretching a different muscle. So you have the character now. What is Juanita Carmelita is another character. Who's the new guy, like the you don't know how to party guy? I saw that in your trailer, and I can't say that I saw a lot of him. But where?
Fratucci, bro, that guy. Yeah.
Where do you come up with these? Are these people in your life that you kind of exaggerate? Because comedy is a lot of lies and exaggeration. Is that what this is? Like you see somebody and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take it to the next level, like your dad with Creeper.
Yeah, for sure, homie. Like all my characters are pretty much based off family or homies that I know or have interacted with and just had time to absorb. But yeah, Creeper's just based off my pops and my cousins. And then, Juanita Carmelita, she's, based off my mom, who's she's a very fiery ass Latina, I'll feel with love, but don't get on her bad side and always talking shit. And yeah, you know what time it is, and just all right, that's what's up. But, and then, Afroducci is an ambiguous. I had a homie, he's actually Italian, but he comes off as Russian or Middle Eastern in his voice. Big old fool.
I don't know what the fuck.
He's the type of dude that you would talk to on a Sunday and be like, oh, hey, homie, how was your weekend? He's like, bro, Thursday, bro, I take 4 Molly. Saturday, bro, 8 ball of cocaine, no problem, bro, no bullshit. And all aggressive about his partying and shit. And I'm like, damn, congratulations, man. That's what's up. Sounds like a good time. But, he would have it's he's partying, but he would have, he'd explain it like that. Okay, bro, first of all, bro. And then boom, and you're really intense. And I'm like, damn, that's what's up. He just handles his party. So yeah, that's right.
Dude, I'm trying to remember if it was you, and look, the Deckheads is what we call each other. They've had me drinking. So I've been drinking Jamie. So I'm trying to remember, but I saw a tweet.
You got to drink today. My goddaughter is, my sister's married to an Irish homie. So
shit, okay.
My goddaughter's half Mexican, half Irish. So
y'all about to get busy. I remember, I don't know if it was you or Eric Rivera or somebody, but there was the discussion about Saturday Night Live and inclusion and Latinx representation on the show. And I remember thinking when they had auditions in the past, dude, with your range of characters and voices and impersonations, and let's be real, dude, your acting skills, when you watch Creeper, when you watch Juanita, some of the, acting is all about nuance, right? It's all about the little things that really bring out the character. And a lot of people don't necessarily notice it. But even when I was when I added the trailer to my break today so people could kind of see some of your work, and I watched that and I'm like, man, the nuance of his characters are so amazing. Did you ever try for Saturday Night Live, or was it something that you knew industry wise, it just wasn't going to be feasible for you? Because I feel like you would be perfect for a set like that, or Mad TV or whatever.
Yeah, homie. Lauren Michaels flew me out there and put me up in a hotel and had me audition for him right in the stage, right in New York, right in the studio. And they're like, he's not going to give you anything. There's only like 3 people in there, and so just commit to your shit. And but he actually laughed and he clapped for me, and I wasn't expecting that. So I went back to the hotel room all emotional, like fuck. Yes. But then they passed on me, and I think it might have been like this guy's. I think he might have, he clapped for me and said what's up. So I think he respected the time. But I think it was a thing for him. Maybe it was like, this guy is doing his thing, but he's not for Saturday Night Live. Because I didn't, like, some people were like, oh, you should play and just do like one character and go big. But I just, I stuck to my guns, man. I did my shit. I was doing my thing, and he laughed and liked it, but he might have just not saw it as a good fit for SNL, or who knows the reason.
Do you think it was because all your characters were Latinx based at the time, maybe, and that just wasn't what they were? Because I mean, dude, with your range and with your acting abilities and your stand-up comedic talents and the write and production and everything else that you knew, it would only make sense. So I mean, what do you honestly think was the reason that they passed?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's, it's just a thing with the industry. It's like, because I go out and pitch shows and stuff like that. And, and I guess that a lot of the response is like, oh, this is just a little too specific or da-da-da. But in the end, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he gave me a shot, so I can't, I'm grateful for that. But maybe they just don't see it like, reaching. I think it could, obviously I believe in it. I think it, I've seen that with Creeper, but these industry people, they're not on the road with you, they're not seeing the people that come out to the show. Cause when I first went on tour and I'm doing Creeper, I'm doing Juanita Carmelita, I'm repping my shit. And I'm all of a sudden I'm in Minneapolis or all
the whitest city in America.
Yeah, the whitest city. And they're coming out. And it's like, yeah. I'll never forget. I was in Minneapolis, or I'm in Philadelphia one time, like this old school Philly family, like, Wyatt, the homie's got the mullet and the thing is like, we fucking love your shit, man. Da da da. And then in Minneapolis, it was this group of, I'll never forget it. It was like these group of old ladies, and they were like, it was like 6 or 7 of them. They were like a crew, and they were like, they drove like 45 minutes to get to this club and to come see me. Wow. And it was just very eye opening, and I was like, damn. And they connected with the whole like just everything, and I was like, so it was like, okay, we got something here. You know what I mean? But only I'm seeing that and feeding off that. Like the industry only sees the numbers or see what they think and think. So I just need somebody to take that chance on me doing my thing. But with that being said, I am grateful to have the work I am, and we're working on a lot of dope shit right now. So
you got some pretty dope crews and some pretty good opportunities. I mean, obviously Saturday Night Live for comics and in our business is the pinnacle. It's it's one of those gigs that kind of catapult your career into stardom if you get it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the nail in the coffin if you don't. What I love about it is, and one of the things I was thinking about when you were telling me that there was 7 white ladies and, a mullet in Philly, dude, funny is funny. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit if it's black, Hispanic, white. If you're funny and relatable in the way that like Creeper, people watch Creeper and you just relate to that dude. Like I swear to God, Frankie, I think I texted you a couple times where just randomly I'd have a friend be like, bro, look at this video. It's the funniest. And it was one of the ones where Creeper freaked the fuck out and he was gonna fight the bouncer. And like,
he's having his meltdowns over here.
Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, that's my homie Frankie. That dude hilarious. And these are just, this might be my dad, who is an old racist white guy. I mean, like, it's all over the map, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you believe politically. I don't care what you believe ethnically, race-wise. Funny is funny. And if it's funny, they're going to laugh. And that's why I think it's been so successul, man. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Thank you, homie. Yeah. I try to keep I'm a fan of all types. Even like, I like over the top characters too. But for my characters, I try to keep them grounded, where you don't it's like you said, you feel like you know them. Yeah. That's your thing. And there's a big piece of me in all the characters. And then with Creeper, with the physical comedy thing, like that one and him getting kicked out the bar, there's no dialogue. It's all physical comedy. Oh, and I love that. I mean, I used to love Benny Hill, Three Stooges.
Is that where you get the inspiration from that stuff? Because dude, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you don't realize it until after you're already doing it. And I'm like, damn, that comes from me loving and growing up watching, like, and me and my pops used to Three Stooges or Benny Hill or there's oh gosh, why am I forgetting his name? old school. It starts with a B. His name, the old school physical comic from like when there was no dialogue. He's getting on wheels and shit. And
oh, I know what you're talking about. Not Benny Hill.
It's Bruce. Oh gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Anyways,
yeah.
The old school physical
that's
comedy.
really funny because it is true, and I don't think a lot of people. I think I first realized what physical comedy was, and you're gonna laugh at this, but when I would watch Three's Company with Jack Tripper, I never realized how funny it could be for somebody to fall over a couch. Like that dude would. And, so then as I already wanted to be a comic, I would start looking into pratfalls and physical comedy, and then you start to realize that's a whole nother tool in a tool bag that you can use without, like you said, you don't have to write a word. You just, if you have that innate ability to be funny physically, you could just go out and be funny. That's a beautiful thing, man. Do you have a team that helps you with these videos, that helps you write and come up with the stories and the plot lines and the ideas? And I'm sure you have somebody helping you film and edit, but do you have like writers that help you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a crew that I've been working with a long time. One of my good homies, Kevin Cameo, we usually co-write everything. Because I'm good at like, I'll come up with the concept and like, hey, do this and that. He helped me put that like curveball into it where he kind of hits you with something and make you feel some kind of emotion while you're laughing. And so for me, it's like that's another thing that just helps the characters feel more grounded and for people to connect with them. But yeah. And then I got my homie who's a director and filmographer, my homie Rob, that I've been working with for like 12 years now. So yeah, we got a crew and we've gotten other opportunities, but we've always like stuck together and just.
Dude, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize. They'll see Creeper, they see you, and they think, oh, well, this is all him. Like I do this little 3-minute kind of, it's like a weekend update, but it's for sports. It's called Barry on Sports. And I have 3 of my comedian buddies. I don't even write the jokes for it. At this point, they're just so good at writing the jokes that I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know sports and I could write sports jokes, but they're so much better at it that they write that I finalize the script and then I perform it. I do the weekend update thing and it's with sports and headlines and stuff. But they're the reason it's funny. You know what I mean? And you got to sell their jokes, but so I think a lot of people will just look at that because I'll get somebody will be like, oh man, your Adrian Peterson joke was hilarious. And I'm like, no. You know, Chris Rogers wrote that joke or Kanis Nana or Sun Tran or these guys are writing these jokes. And it always, man, it's like you can get to a certain point by yourself, but if you surround yourself with funny people in this business, you have a much better opportunity to get further.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. And once you get that chemistry going and they can see you.
It's invaluable. It's invaluable. I mean, you look at Chappelle and Neil Brennan. I mean, that was just, everyone, a lot of people didn't know about Neil Brennan until later, but because Chappelle got all the credit, but Neil Brennan wrote a lot of those famous sketches and was the idea behind it.
Even he helped them write Killing Me Softly. It was one of my favorite stand-up specials, you know, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. In the pod, by the way, we're live on YouTube, but we're also live on Podbean, just the audio podcast, and we have a chat over there that you can't see. But Francisco Barca said, were you thinking of Buster Keaton? Was that the name?
Yes, Buster Keaton. Thank you, Francisco. Hell yeah. Yeah, Buster Keaton, man, he's a legend, homie. But
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Do I need to go Google that shit? Honest to God, I have no idea.
Buster Keaton, man, he's a legend.
Really?
It's universal because it's all physical comedy. So a lot of the creeper videos that really pop, they don't even have no words in them because people in every country don't even have to speak English and they could share it. You know, it's like, but Buster Keaton is a legend, man. He's got some classics. There's a lot of them on YouTube. You should check it out.
Because the B I was thinking of was Mr. Bean, because that's another guy that rarely says anything, but he's fucking hilarious because of his face and his expressions. And I wish I could do that shit. I would probably be way further along in my goddamn career. I got this stupid face that ain't doing shit. What's next, man? You got all this shit that's happened, and I know the pandemic probably put a dent in all this, like, you know, for all of us as comics, it did. Are you slowly figuring out what the next move is after things start to open up?
Yeah, you know, great. Thankfully, we've been doing some production. So I did like a Christmas movie, and then like that kind of was like, cause you know, we all didn't know what to do in pandemic. I had to cancel like 32 shows, you know, it was like crazy. And
that hurts.
You know, but you know, I work on a Cartoon Network show, so I'm able to do that, you know, make that happen. But right now we're getting ready to shoot a pilot for Hulu. It's an ABC show, but it's with some homies. My Fred Armisen is one of the producers on it, and Roth. Yeah, we've been working on. That's where I was racing from right now. They got to put like tattoos on me and shit, but it's like another like grounded character, and it's a real show. But it's called Punk Ass Bitch, actually.
Nice. Dude,
main
Chris,
character.
who was it that opens for you?
It's Chris Estrada's. He's the main character. He's the
Is
punk
it?
ass bitch.
Oh, dude, he is
Yeah.
so goddamn funny, man. Chris is the nicest dude, man. How did you guys meet? I mean, nobody's gonna give a fuck about this, but I wanted to know because when I opened for you guys, Chris was there, and y'all both couldn't have been nicer to me because you know how it can get weird in the green room sometimes if two comics know each other, and then
We all know
who
how
the fuck
very
is
it
this
get weird in
white
the green
dude
room.
showing up, and he's all like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, no, you guys could not have been nicer, man. Chris and I became friends. We talked without you. I'm like, "What's up, homie?" He's like, "What's up, dog?" Like. Oh, he's hilarious. I'm so glad to see that bit for him is getting some run and recognition. Tell me about it. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, homie. Well, Chris is like he's always worked hard and he's so deserving. And I saw him at a cafe open mic like years ago. He was only about less than a year in to doing stand up, and I was like, damn, this dude is fucking funny, man. And then probably a year after that is when I took him on the road as an opener. And then, but he's the type of dude, like he had a kind of a crazy upbringing growing up in South Central. So he kind of had like his whole like party stages when he was a teenager. And then, so now, you go on the road and he's the dude that like just goes back to the room and writes, after.
I was going to say,
shows.
you telling me Chris is a partier. When I met him, I would have never guessed that. He is so fucking mellow. It's like, I'm just going to go back and read the Bible in my room. I don't want to do none of this. That's crazy. And then you hear the stories about growing up in South Central. As a comic, you're like, all right, how much of that is true? But you realize a lot of it is rooted in truth. I mean, the truth is rarely funny. Oh, yeah. But it's the basis for the funny. So that's interesting to know. Well, that's awesome, dude. That's a beautiful thing about this business. You took him on the road. You gave him some breaks. You got him into some clubs. You got him some exposure, some stage. You let him polish that act, and that becomes a pilot that you now get to be a part of. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I'm grateful. Yeah, he definitely worked in there, and then Fred showed me love, and then, but they, ultimately the decision is not. It's up to like the ABC execs and all that, and luckily they liked my tape and liked my auditions, and they gave me the part. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it's good. The script's really good, so I'm pumped on it. I think the show's got a lot of potential.
Well, you're amazingly talented. I promise you I'd get you out of here at 3:55. I really appreciate you sitting down and doing this with me, man. I'm a big fan of yours, and I think you are killing it, and I wish you nothing but success in the future. And when you come back to Houston, let me know. I'd love to come hang out again.
Oh, no, come do a guest spot, homie. Shit. Oh, and then somebody asked about the Cabernet in the comments. Yeah. Oh, the Cartoon Network show is called Victor and Valentino.
Okay.
We're in our third season. Somebody asked that. And then somebody asked about the Creeper Cabernet. Yes, that's a real wine. You go to Creeper Cam, homie. Check it out.
You got your own wine, Frankie? Hold up. I didn't know about this. I didn't do enough research. You got your own fucking wine?
Yeah, homie. It's not bad either.
He's like, it ain't Boone's Farm, motherfucker. It's drinkable. Yeah. No shit.
Hey, Boone's Farm is one of the first things like the first time I ever got drunk was off some Strawberry Hill. I mean,
dude, Creeper, goddamn, bro, you are killing the game. Keep doing it, homie. I'm enjoying watching you succeed, man. You're a great dude. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, homie. Thanks for the love. I appreciate you.
Man, come down to Houston. I can't wait to see you again.
Let's do it.
There you go, you guys. That is Frankie Quinones. Oh my God, that dude is fucking hilarious. He is he's blowing up, and I'm here for it because that's not only is he a good dude, but he's a funny ass dude. So when his shows come out, make sure you support Punk Ass Bitch if it gets picked up, and make sure you support the Creeper Cabernet and everything else in the Cartoon Network. That was dope as shit. I'm glad he joined me. I've been trying to get that dude on this show forever, and we hadn't had a guest. I have Jerome and I have Kelly Eco, but used to be an hour of me and an hour of a guest. We hadn't done that in a while. I was like, let me see if Frankie has some time. So I'm glad he did it. Hadn't done one of these shows in a while. That felt good. This is how it started, the original style of this show. An hour of me and an hour of a guest. Good stuff. Hey, if you're listening on Podbean, thank you for listening. If you're listening to this later as a podcast, I appreciate you. Make sure you go to youtube.com/BarryIsFunny. Subscribe to the channel over there. If you did watch on YouTube today, turn us down. Thank you so much. I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. If you go out and celebrate tonight, be safe. Because that's my number one thing, right? When we talk at the end of every show, I tell you 3 things. Tonight is super important that you pay attention to the first one. Because I want you guys to come back tomorrow. I want you to be here. So like I always tell you, and especially tonight, be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. I will see y'all tomorrow. Daddy's making a YouTube video!